I haven't recorded anything about this in my video diaries yet, but I'm going to be a father. It happened, the conception happened really quickly after I found my biological father. And I remember I even recorded in one of these diaries that I felt like the block had cleared, that like I felt like I could never be a dad, and then all of that shifted inside of me. And it shifted so much that this journey is beginning now. And there are a billion, trillion, zillion, like so many thoughts and feelings and experiences emerging around this new adventure that I don't know where to begin to talk about it in my diaries, like, especially it's a public diary as well. But I'm very excited, and I've had so many realizations where I'm just thinking, I wish that I just realized it sooner, but of course everything happens exactly as it should. Like, I remember talking to one person a short while before this adventure started, and they asked me, like, why don't you have kids yet? You obviously want kids, because I was talking about children a lot. And I said, oh, I'm a planner. And she goes, no, you're an overthinker. And that stuck with me. That might have even been another one of the little nudges that brought me closer to making this possible, you know, because yeah, my whole, like, throughout my life I've been quite cautious about, I've never felt like I wanted to bring children into the world because of all of those blocks and negative assumptions and beliefs that I held about myself, and like just all the stuff that was inside of me, all the trauma and things. So I only recently probably started becoming open to the possibility and being less scared of like the what ifs. So I sort of opened up to not trying to avoid becoming a father. That's sort of where I was at. And my girlfriend and I hadn't known each other for ages. Like, we didn't know each other for very long, but she wanted kids and I wanted kids, and we were even joking about what we were going to name the babies and stuff when we were courting one another. And, you know, understanding what I understand about the law of intent and, you know, how this universe works, like, it's a no-brainer that we inevitably produced a child, but it was still like, whoa, like, it was still like, oh, this is happening now. I just found my biological father, and now I'm becoming a father. Of course, full circle moment, it makes total sense, but it was still like, I've been having a lot of pinch yourself moments in the last couple of years, you know, like, it's just been non-stop healing, and the healing manifesting in these experiences and these new possibilities, like, that you can witness, like, you can watch this, like, you can see these things that were impossible before becoming possible and actually taking place. Like, I've healed the rift between myself and my father to the degree that he now exists in my universe, in my reality. And then I've healed myself enough that I can now become a father myself, and I'm excited about it. I'm not scared of it. I'm not like, I've healed all of these things inside of myself that said, like, I don't want to bring children into this world because I'm so full of trauma, and what if I fuck it up? And I have all those things. I still have, like, I don't think that I have all the answers. I don't think I'm going to be father of the year, or like be like, you know, writing a book on how to parent or anything like that. But I'm excited that I don't have a clue what I'm doing. It's like it's reinvigoration that's taken place, and I'm actually kind of thinking, like, this is what, it's just the natural order of things, you know? Like, if you're hitting your 30s, I'm about to turn 32, and you're starting to feel like a bit monotonous and a bit repetitive and a bit like, is this it? And you're like wondering, like, why am I feeling like I can't really think about what I want to do with myself? I think it's probably your biology starting to kick in, and like it was obvious to me. Like I started to think about children a lot more, and started to, I had the whole the biological clock thing hit me pretty obviously, and I was just started to think about it a lot more. Maybe that even motivated my desire to start healing, so that I could become ready, so that I could start this journey. Yeah. Sorry, my thought processes are just going in so many different directions at once. But at the same time, it kind of felt like my whole mind just went blank and nothing really matters. Like there's this degree of contentment and just like everything's exactly as it should be. And, the person that I've ended up having a baby with is like the coolest person that I could have chosen out of everybody that I've ever known. It's just like unfolded so beautifully and so perfectly. It's just like, really? Wow, there's this pinch yourself moment again. And I can just see not only like how all of these experiences have converged to create this possibility and to start this new adventure, I can also see it's converged onto this point where it's all possible, and then it's like expanding all out into all these new exciting directions. Like I can see myself living differently, I can see myself having new experiences, and like that I said, I feel reinvigorated, like I feel inspired and motivated, and I have this new sense of like importance, but it's not like a self-importance. It's like there's so many things and so much that I wouldn't have gone for if I was just doing it for me. But now that I'm doing it for my child and my family, it's like this is the missing piece of the puzzle. Like this self-centered kind of approach to life. Like that's what I was feeling. I'm like in my 30s and I'm just like doing all this stuff to make this cool life for myself, but it had this emptiness to it. But now it's like, oh, purpose. Like you're creating all of this to share with others, to share with your family, and to create a little universe for them to grow up in. Like that's what it's all about. And it's weird. Like there's so many realizations that are still cooking in my awareness, like that are half-baked, and I'm still learning new things about myself every single day that are sort of surfacing as a result of like, oh wow, I'm doing this now. Like I'm renovating the house, like I'm putting up some curtains one day, and I'm like building some furniture another day, and doing the garden, and like just like building this little universe with the intent that it's for a family. Like it's just a whole new dimension of reality that is so obvious. And of course, like one thing that I realized, which will give you the context that I'm trying to share, is that this is actually, I'm the weird one. Like at this age, to be 32 and not have kids is the weird thing to be doing. Like I'm the exception to not the rule, like I was like, oh, like having kids is like this crazy thing that people do sometimes, but no, that's life. Like one of the biological imperatives is that we reproduce, otherwise there's no continuation of what's going on here, so yeah, just like that's to give you context of like how wild of a journey this is for me. Like I had a realization like this is actually the normal thing to do, because for so long it was like such a crazy concept to me for me to reproduce and have a family, because I thought I was too damaged and too fucked up. So yeah, that's kind of like my headspace coming into it was like, I would never do this. And now it's like, of course I'll do this. And I had so many ideas about all the challenges and how hard it would be. Like, I know I don't have the child here yet, like we're just pregnant right now, but even the pregnancy, like having like all the hormones changing and the emotional partner and all of that, like it's not as hard as I imagine it to be. I'm not missing anything. I'm I'm not having, it's not a hard time. Like, I just want to make sure everything's amazing for my partner, and I just want to set all this up to be as beautiful as it possibly can be. It's the purpose of it and the meaning of it outweighs any difficulty of it, and that's the part that I missed, because I'm such an analytical thinking type person that I was trying to conceptualize like having a family and like plan it and think of it in terms of like problem solving and like this real like left brain sort of approach to it, and I didn't even consider or contemplate the feeling of it and the emotions and the joy and the excitement and like the inspiration and motivation that comes with the reality that you're going to have a family and you're going to be responsible for that little universe, like, or like we are going to be responsible, me and my partner, because we're both very independent people, but also both very supportive of one another. We work pretty well together, even though, like I said, this happened pretty fast, which is another thing. Like, of course, it's like friends, family, whatever, people might have judgments and assumptions and beliefs about like how things should go, cultural stuff, like religious stuff, but we're kind of just rolling with it because that's what else are you gonna do. But also like her mum said, for instance, without like talking too much about other people's stories, like she's seen enough people do it all the right way, like go and get married, live together for a few years, have the kids, and then they have the messy divorce, everything falls apart, and it's like a nightmare. So like, who is to say like what the right way is to begin something like this? We're beginning it from a place of like laughter and dreaming and lots of love. Like, it's just been super fun. So that's a great way to begin something like this. It feels ultra vulnerable compared to my normal things that I share on a video diary, because this is immense. I still feel that immensity. Like, so this being, I'm going to see them through their life into their adulthood, and I'm going to be responsible for shaping their little universe up until they take their own independence and do that for themselves, you know, like. But I've let go of so much of the pressure and doubt and fear. I'm not I think I'm actually the chill one at this point, which is another thing that surprises me. Like, I've always thought that I would be the anxious kind of parent that would be overthinking everything, but just because of the journey that I've been on, like, I've reached a point where I'm relaxed and I trust life, I trust spirit, I trust myself, I trust the child to know what to do, I trust my partner to be able to do what she needs to do. I just trust the process. I'm understanding that everything's going to unfold as it should, and if challenges emerge, like, that's something for me to learn and grow from. Like, I'm always going to reframe everything into this positive, like, I'm going to make the most of these experiences, and I'm just going to be grateful for what I do have. And that's all you really can do, isn't it? Like, you can't say no thanks universe, like, this isn't how I wanted it. I want a refund, or I want to change the product. Like, I'm really at the point in my life now where I know, like, I can apply myself and I can create something beautiful just with my intent and my action, my thoughts, words. You know, like, I can create and I can pour myself into something and I can make it beautiful and meaningful and worth doing. And if I can do that with all of the other things that I've done in my life, and I can do this with my family, and I feel like, yeah, like I said, like, I've planned it out in my head like a billion different ways and overthought this whole process and contemplated like what it might be like to have kids, and went through a whole process where I was like, thinking I'd never meet somebody who I would feel comfortable having children with, like, overthinking everything. And now I've arrived at a place where it's just acceptance. And I really needed that little nudge from the universe to just be like, stop overthinking everything and just do it, because you're getting old, bro. It's time for you to do this next step. I'm just letting go, because letting go got me here. Letting go got me to my father's house. Like, letting go got me to the most awesome career. Letting go got me to understanding what I understand about this universe and its laws. Like, just trusting that the path that I'm on will lead me to my destination, you know? Like, I'm happy. This is what it's all about. Let's continue. If you get anything out of these video diaries, please pass them on to anybody else you know who may benefit, anybody who might be able to relate. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click the like button for me, that's helpful. And if you want to know more about what's going on here, you can go check out my website, kailives.com.